Gentlemen, it is the Q. Welcome in on a very, very casual Friday to your favorite new trivia app. The Q Trivia. The Q, it used to stand for question, and then our world kind of changed, and so we called it the quarantine, and I think it still works, because if you can't have fun with all the craziness going on in the world, then what else do? You gotta laugh to keep from crying, right? Well, I try to keep your spirits up. And speaking of laughter, I do have to put this out there, because occasionally, just occasionally, I have to do a little bit of self-promoting. Not my favorite thing to do, but I think it's apropos on a day that is the anniversary of my very first stand-up comedy special taping. Dog Stepfather. You can catch it anywhere. You can catch it on YouTube. You can catch it on Amazon. Just go to YouTube, type in Dog Stepfather, and this ugly face will show up, minus the beard. So I got to tape that a year ago tonight in Chicago. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes drama going on, but my crew was amazing. I was decent. I had a lot of great comics opening for me, and the crowd was bonkers good. So we ended up getting 2 good shows on tape, and we put it together, and now my special's out there for the world. And it did so well, actually, that I get to host this trivia app. So this is the show. My name is Mark. You can follow me online at Mark Ellis Live, wherever you do your social mediaing. And I just want to check in with y'all one more time before the week is out. Are you good out there? You doing okay? I know it's tough times, but what we love to do around here is give you all a little taste of what it's like to be in a community, because it's virtual, but we still get to wrap our arms around each other and say, hey, how you doing? And maybe, just maybe, win a little bit of cash, because we're giving away $50 today. 12 questions are what you have to answer correct in order to get that cash. But I have even more good news. You don't have to get every question right. If you want to win part of the $50 today, you do. But if you miss a question, don't panic. Keep getting correct answers, as many as you can, because that's all going to be added to your monthly leaderboard total. At the end of the time period, which we still have 15 days left, I want to say, then whoever has the most points gets $1,500. So that's pretty special. I have all the answers to the questions, and I'm nowhere near the top of the leaderboard. So it's not an easy one to get to the top of, but if you're there and you've been playing every day, you have a good chance to win. 2 games a day. Audrey hosts the 7 p.m. East Coast one. I host the primetime 8:30 slot, and then I immediately crack open a beer and say, well, you did a good job, Mark. And especially on a day like today, look at this. Look at this jacket I got. Look at the Toon Squad shirt. Can you see that? It's a very exciting wardrobe for me on a casual Friday. All right, we're about ready to get locked in, start playing the game. Make sure you share the app with your friends. Give them your referral code, which is just your username. And then whenever somebody else signs up, you get a free extra life, and they get a free extra life. See, it's just all good news here around the Q. All right, you guys ready to play? I'm on Instagram Live too. Hi, everybody on Instagram Live. So I'm just full self-promotion mode. But now it's about you and about the questions. You ready? Okay, first one's a multiple choice. We're going to close with a couple fill in the blank, but your first 10 are in the MC format. And the first one's kind of a warm-up one. What day is today? What is today? Is it Holy Friday, Easter, or Good Friday? See, it is Friday, and it's actually, there's been days when I'm not sure what day it is. I'm not sure what day I'm waking up on, just because that's kind of where we are in the world. But the answer is also one of my favorite Black Crowes songs. So it's not Easter and it's not Holy Friday. It is actually I Will See You on Good Friday. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, psh. Okay, how many people got that? A lot of y'all. A lot of y'all got that one right. And so when I see that, I hear you screaming, Mark, we want the questions to be harder. So here you go with question number 2. On Home Depot's website, islands are items marked for what room of the house? Islands. Where do you put an island in a house? Is it the bedroom, the kitchen, or the living room? What do you got? Bedroom, kitchen, or living room? I kind of love islands. Castaway is one of my favorite movies. That's kind of my fantasy. Me and a volleyball having a good time. But the answer, according to Home Depot's website, is the kitchen. The kitchen is what we were looking for, and fair amount of y'all got that one right too. The kitchen island, over 800 people. Still perfect through 2 questions. So we move on to question number 3, and it is. Carolyn Keene's first book was The Secret of the what? Was it Hidden Staircase, Old Clock, or Twisted Candles? Wow, each one of those things feels like they have a secret to share. A hidden staircase, that sounds legit. An old clock, certainly. Or Twisted Candles. And the answer is actually Twisted Candles. Looking for Twisted Candles. Most people thought it was Hidden Staircase. I guess that's the popular book. I'm not much of a reader unless it's about Tiger Woods or the Redskins. But the answer we're looking for was Old Clock. The Secret of the Old Clock. And we still have over 250 perfect rounds. Again, if you missed a question, keep playing, because I like the attention and it helps get you more points for the monthly leaderboard. All right, your next query, question number 4, and it is. I feel like a magician wearing this jacket. The melody for the wedding song known as Here Comes the Bride is from what opera? Is it Tristan and Isolde, Lohengrin, or Parsifal? I didn't know that this was ripped from something. I guess I don't know what I thought when it came to Here Comes the Bride. I try not to think about that song because that implies you're getting married, and I don't think I ever want that life for myself. It's a very lonely existence, but it's one I'm accustomed to. So what opera was it from? You guessed it, Lohengrin. Lohengrin is the answer. 157 still perfect rounds. I have a friend, Cody, and I believe his bride walked down the aisle to the Jurassic Park theme. Was it Jurassic? It might have been Star Wars. It wasn't Here Comes the Bride, I don't think. So feel free to do whatever you want at your wedding. And we move on to your fifth question. Today's matchup, it's another multiple choice coming at you. And that question is, Ujiji is a town in what country? Ujiji is a town in, is it Angola, Tanzania, or Zambia? I feel like our question writers just love making me pronounce hard words. Ujiji, is it Angola, Tanzania, or Zambia? Where is that town located? In which country? The answer we're looking for, Tanzania. Of course it's Tanzania. Come on. Didn't you make it past first grade? Tanzania, that's the answer. And over 100 people, still perfect rounds. That's good. Good on you. This is not an easy test. That's casual. Make the question. And a bunch of y'all are hanging in there, and we move on to your sixth question. It's another multiple choicer. Here we go. Which of these creatures are featured in The Persistence of Memory? Persistence of Is it snails, ants, or beetles? I have never eaten any of these, but it's going to be protein of the future. So everyone prepare yourself. Snails, ants, beetles, that's what we're going to be eating in 50 years. I mean, I'm not going to be eating it, but the kids are. I'll still be doing the cheeseburgers for as long as I can. The answer, which protein was it? The persistence of memory. The creatures we're looking for are ants. Ants is the correct answer. Some people thought beetles, some people thought snails, but we're looking for ants. And so that takes us down to 74 perfect participants. Who we got in there? Milky Fruits, always a good trivia player. Based X, Karboski 99, Small Potato, Happy Leper. So Happy Leopard, geez. Okay, so a lot of y'all are doing well. You're still perfect, and you're playing for that $50. And we move on to your next question. And it is, Tim Burton has done 16 films with what composer? Is it Danny Elfman, Philip Glass, or Hans Zimmer? Favorite Danny Elfman movie? You on Instagram. Go, let me know too. A lot of people would probably say, did I say Danny Elfman? Give away the answer. Okay, if you didn't know it was Danny Elfman, come on. I gave you a free one. There, that was a freebie. It's Friday, and I'm tired, and I'm a little strung out, but I'm doing fine. And I gave you, you should look at the score. I slipped. I said Danny Elfman, so only one person guessed Philip Glass and one person guessed Hans Zimmer, and the rest of y'all were listening to me, and you guessed Danny Elfman. So my bad on that one. Sorry, everyone. Okay, your next question that I promise I will not give away the answer to. My favorite Tim Burton movie is Pee-wee's Big Adventure. That's what I was going for. Your eighth question that I will shut up on is multiple choice. After years of detailed research, which scientist originally discovered and mapped the monarch butterfly migration? Whew. Was it Dr. Fred Urquhart, Dr. Bill Calvert, or Dr. Lincoln Brower? I couldn't have given away the correct answer on this one because I don't know it. But I do love Danny Elfman. And Danny Elfman's so synonymous with Tim Burton. I mean, come on. Dr. Fred Urquhart, Dr. Bill Calvert, or Dr. Lincoln Brower? They're all smarter than me. They all have medical degrees, which I do not. But only one originally discovered and mapped the monarch butterfly migration, and that was Dr. Fred. Dr. Fred Urquhart is the correct answer. And that took our number of perfect rounds down just a hair. Now we only have 53 perfect rounds remaining. They're all vying for their share of $50 to take into the weekend. So Puff Daddy's there, Delco's there, and Bobby I still perfect. All right, your next question. This is your ninth question. And it is, which of these classic novels was first published when the author was only 20 years old? This is the one that I gave away on Instagram Live before we went live. And then I was feeling it, and it was a heat check, so I gave away another one. Was it Mrs. Dalloway, Frankenstein, or Little Women? So think about who the author could have been, and then what did that author write, and was that written by a young person? Mrs. Dalloway, Frankenstein, Little Women? Anyone? What do you got? Okay, she's British, and I think it was her first novel, and her name was Mary Shelley. So there you go, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. She was only 20 when she wrote that. 20 years old. Where were you when you were 20? I know my friend Robert, he was He was putting pineapple on Domino's pizza. That's what he was doing. Evil. We move on to your next question with 35 perfect rounds still in contention. And this is going to be your last multiple choice, so enjoy it. Netflix came about when the founder was charged a $40 late fee on what movie rental? So he rented a movie, charged a $40 late fee. Was it Braveheart, GoldenEye, or Apollo 13? I love this question. I tell you all the story. One of the neighbors from my mom's place, he lives up the street. He still does Netflix shipping DVDs. Like I didn't know you could still do that, but he still does. So was it Braveheart? Was it GoldenEye or Apollo 13? Houston, we have a problem. And that problem is $40 in late fees. The answer is Apollo 13. Yeah, guy, he's like, $40 in late, there's got to be a better way to do this. And then he started thinking about the gym membership model, and he's like, I got a light bulb here. And Apollo 13 is the reason. All right, a bunch of y'all knew that one. So we still have over 30 perfect games going. And now we get into your last two questions of today's round. For your share of $50, it's fill in the blank. Here we go. What is Barbie's boyfriend Ken's last name? This is perfect. I had no idea that Ken had a last name. I had no idea. Ken does have a last name, and we're looking for it. Get a little bit more time to write in your answer. What do you got? Anybody? Ken has a last name. There's been so many different versions. He was voiced by Michael Keaton in one of the Toy Story movies. But what was his last name? Ken. If they got married, I'm pretty sure Ken would take whatever Barbie's last name is, but I don't know if Barbie is her last name or if it's something else. But okay, so these guesses are fantastic. A lot of people thought that Ken's last name was Dahl, which makes sense, but it's incorrect. It is a Ken Dahl, not his last name. A lot of people put Smith, Jones, Roberts, Johnson. None of those are correct. Ken Carson. Ken Carson is the answer. His last name is Carson. He comes from a long line of inanimate objects with the last name Carson. So of our total responders, which we still have like over 500 people playing, only 85 got that one right, and that leaves only 24 perfect rounds. So your next and your last question for your share of $50. Everybody watching on Instagram Live, thanks for hanging out, but why have you not downloaded the trivia app and come play and win some money from me? Not me personally, but I'm helping giving it away. Your last question is another fill in the blank, and it is, what state has produced more U.S. presidents than any other? What state? More U.S. presidents than anyone else. What do you got? So you got to think it's probably something on the East Coast, right? Because that's where the bulk of the population was during most of our country's history as it pertains to being the United States. So what state produced? I think this state has produced 8 presidents, I want to say. It's not Ohio. I see a lot of people guessing Texas, too. It was not Texas. It was not Illinois. It was a very famous one. I think Lincoln was born there in a log cabin. It wasn't New York or Washington or Massachusetts. It was Virginia. Virginia, my home state, Virginia. It's for lovers and likely future presidents of the United States. We've had 8 presidents from there at the very least. You got your Washington, you got Jefferson was born there. John Tyler, I know that because I used to live right off John Tyler Highway. So we got at least 8 presidents have been from Virginia total. And that leaves 8 perfect rounds in today's matchup. 8 people made it through the gauntlet to the finals. Were you one of them? Even if you weren't, congratulations. I still love you. And you got a lot of points towards your monthly leaderboard. And for people who actually won today, you win your share of $50. So quick math time, 8 times 5. You win a little more than $6 just for playing trivia. There you go. Each one of y'all did. Yeah, congratulations. This was a very fun day and week of trivia here on The Q. My name is Mark Ellis. And once again, you can check out my special dog Steph Go-To for your comedy specials. They're actually going to play a little clip for me. I've just been told in the outro of this. So why am I still talking? Make sure you guys are telling your friends and family about playing the Q. It's a nice way to interact in these strange times. Again, my game is every weekday at 8:30 on the East Coast, 5:30 on the West Coast. Audrey's game is at 7 on the East Coast, 4 p.m. out here on the West Coast. So stay safe, stay distant, but in your hearts, you can have community and you can have trivia right here at The Q. Have a great weekend, everybody. See you Monday. I'm trying everything in your city. I cannot say no to pizza. I love all kinds of pizza. I'm not a picky person when it comes to pizza eating. I'll do anything. I'll do delivery. I'll do frozen. I will take 9 bagel bites and form one giant slice. Gimmick pizzas ruin me. It doesn't matter what the gimmick is, I'm going to buy it. I remember being a chubby little kid and seeing the first ad for Pizza Hut stuffed crust. Oh, as a fat kid, that was like our Beatles on Ed Sullivan moment. Everything changed that night. The grass was greener, flowers smelled sweeter, the diabetes was more type A. It was a good day. I saw a commercial for a bacon cheeseburger pizza, and like clockwork, I can't even help it. My hand just grabs my phone. Hey, it's me. Send it. You know where to send it. Like, it's gotten so bad. My friends, they won't even let me into a conversation about pizza. Because my friends are passionate. They'll be arguing like New York versus Sicilian. I come walking in. You guys see that guy who can fold all those boxes? It's in the Bible and the Quran. It works both ways. It's true. The drivers have to joust, and the loser works at Little Caesars for the rest of his career.